Cutthroat City, right? Cutthroat City. Okay. This is directed by The RZA, right? It took a while for it to come out because, you know, COVID was happening.
Yeah.
And so COVID was happening, so it took a while for the film to come out. But finally, it's out for people to watch, right? Now, the first thing that I'll say about Cutthroat City is it has a pretty good cast.
Yes.
Let's go through the cast real quick.
Starring Shameik Moore as Blink.
That's right.
Cat Graham, Demira, Demetrius Shipp Jr. plays Miracle.
Now, you know Demetrius Shipp Jr. from playing Tupac Shakur.
Right.
Right?
Right.
In the Tupac movie. Now, I am glad because, you know, there is a lot of gunplay in this film and there's a lot of hoodie wearing in this film. And I'm glad that they did not have him playing Tupac.
Right.
Like a caricature of Tupac.
Right.
He really has upped his acting game. So that's one thing we'll say about him. Continue
on. Wesley Snipes, Denzel Whitaker, Isa Gonzalez, Keenan Johnson, T.I., Terrence Howard, Ethan Hawke, Isaiah Washington, Tyrone Woodley, Rob Morgan, Dominique Duvernay, Joel David Moore.
Yeah, so it's an ensemble cast.
Yeah,
we don't have to go through all the rest. So let me say, though, that Isaiah Washington shows his ability to emote and act in this film. He plays the mortician in the film, right? He plays a mortician in the film, and he surely does show his ability to emote in this film and his ability to take on a character and transform into another person. He does have that ability. He has those acting chops. So I have to give Isaiah Thomas his props. Now, this is supposed to take place in New Orleans.
Right.
It happens it opens up just before Hurricane Katrina.
Right.
And it's in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. This story takes place in the 9th Ward, right? Not a lot of Louisiana accent, I will say, in the film. Not a lot of Louisiana accent in the film. So it's like you're watching a film about everyday people. It's like how Denzel will be someplace and Denzel will just be Denzel. His accent won't change. It's just Denzel.
Right.
Same thing.
Well, Cat Graham, she, had the Louisiana accent.
It had the Louisiana accent just a little bit, but everybody else, it was just pretty much.
Yeah. And Shameik Moore was in and out a little.
In and out.
But the thing is, it's like the acting is so good.
Yeah. The acting in it is good. Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna give that big ups. Terrence Howard as the Saint, right? He plays that role, right? So, like I said, it opens up in post Katrina, opens up in just before Katrina and post Katrina, and four friends are trying to figure out how to get money. So, Shameik Moore's character is married in, and so his cousin-in-law is a crime boss, I'll say, because he has his hands in more than just yayo, right? So he goes to him and says, "How can we get money?" And then first he has to show what will happen to you if you don't get him his money.
You have to walk the plank.
You have to walk the plank.
You'll see what that means.
Yeah, you'll see what that means. And then the movie kicks off from there. There's some double cross. Then there's down to 3. Now, the movie is written by I saw his name. He's not black, right? Not that I know of. But the person who wrote the film did not do enough research. Right? Like, the acting in it is superb. For what they had, the script that they had, they brought it to life. But there's certain things about the story instead of it being a feel-good story at the end, because there's some things that happen in the film, and you say, I don't know if that would really happen, but being that this is a Indian Creole spirituality that actually dominates over everything in New Orleans, as the story is telling you, then the people would get a second chance outside of a person who was not religiously or spiritually connected into that system.
Right.
So they get a second chance, but then it seems like there is a cut because they get it appears that they would, well, you'll have to see that, but it comes a point where there is a meritorious manumission scene that comes up where 20 sheriffs get to have target practice on one man who is unarmed, and it's really a weird ending because they kind of chop it and they show you two different endings. If they were going to show you whichever is the alternative ending, they should have left it there and let it be a feel good because you were dealing with spirituality. So I don't know if they wanted to show you that actually Indian Creole spirituality actually rules over New Orleans and moves things along. So they wanted to give a meritorious manumission so that the film could pass through. I don't know what happened. So that right there kind of tricks you in the film, and you're like, I don't know. But let's go through it. So what would you want to say real quick about it? What do you think?
Well, first of all, T.I. played Cousin Bass, right? And so T.I. played that part because he was frightening, you know, as the gangster. And it was realistic, so he did a great job.
He had a birthmark on his face, a strange birthmark on his face. That was crazy.
Was it Vertilago?
Okay, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. Could have been a birthmark too, though.
Oh, well, it was a lot of stuff back and forth over the internet about that.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so the acting was superb, and it was a stellar cast, and the ending threw me off a little. So, but you definitely will. The film will take you on a ride, so you will definitely go on a ride.
The veterans, Wesley Snipes, definitely stepping on people as far as having steps and advancing and stair-stepping over the other actors he's opposite against. He brings it.
He does, because he played a character I've never seen him play before.
Yes, he did.
So he did a really good job, because I forgot I was looking at Wesley Snipes.
At first, when you first see Terrence Howard, you think of Lucius, right? But then you soon forget about Lucius. And there is a powerful scene between him and T.I. It's got to be like one of the best scenes in the movie, where he's the Creole Indian spiritualist that makes things happen in the city. And T.I. comes, and T.I., he asks him, do you believe in the gods? And he says, I believe in one God. Why did he say that? You have to see the film, right? So now let's go through what's really not so good about the film. The research on, give me the writer's name. The research in the film, listen, we live in Las Vegas, Nevada. It doesn't matter. Not only do they have casinos on the Strip, but they have casinos outside of the Strip. Like every corner you go on, there's like a casino. It's like liquor stores and gun stores in certain cities. It's like a casino on every corner, right? The casinos have cameras. If there were 4 dudes sitting up at the one-armed bandits, looking at it, and they had hoodies on, the cameras would be focused on them, and security would be walking around. So in that, they didn't set up, if they were going to show that the security was laxed in this casino, right, then they should, or casinos, because it's multiple casinos, if the security was lax, they should have had them case the joint and show that it was lax, because they have security cameras. You're not getting away with anything. If you got a hoodie and the next thing you know, you pull a stocking down on your face, security's gonna be in your face.
Yeah, right there.
Guns drawn, saying, "What are you doing, Nick?" Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. So it would have had to be faster. It was a little slow. What's the director's name?
The writer.
Writer.
Paul, is it Kusheri?
Paul Kusheri, right? Yeah. He didn't do the research necessary. It was like, sometimes you can write scripts and you can write what you think you assume to know, but when people who come from places where there are casinos, it doesn't go down like that, especially if they are chain casinos. If they're coming into a place to take advantage of the people, like some people believe casinos do, they have their whole camera system and all that underway, under tow. It's not going down like that. I'm sure people could tell you in Cleveland, Ohio, they have casinos in Cleveland, Ohio now. There is nothing. If there's some dudes with some hoodies, the security is going to come out and say, "What you doing?" You're sitting there, you're not playing the game, what you doing?
Because not only will there be security walking the floor, there's security behind the camera, and they don't get up. They're in front of the camera.
And they radio, and it's plain clothes security, and then there's security, right? All of them packing. So in that aspect, that was not real. What's going on to Tanya M. Congress? She said, "Hi, Tanya. Guys. I've been here since before the beginning. Thanks for tuning in." Listen, so that right there, Cutthroat City, that was phony. It's a couple of few other things in there that was phony. The detective at first, she didn't catch me as a detective. She didn't convince me. But then as the movie went on, she opened up and then she arced, and I said, "Okay, I'll give her a pass." But that wasn't too good at first, right? So let's go through it. Cinematography on the movie, that's a 10. Character development, the actors really did that, along with RZA, for what they had as far as the script was concerned. So that's a 10. Character arc in the end, the arcing on it didn't make any sense because the spiritual guy gave another chance. So that is a 5. That's a 5 because that's poor decision making, and it was like meritorious manumission. Look that up when y'all get a chance, when y'all want to know what meritorious manumission is. And when you watch the film, you say, "Yeah, that was some meritorious manumission." The locations of where they shot the film, that's excellent. That's a 10. The use of pacing and timing within the edit. I'm going to split that up. The casino scenes, that's a 4. The other scenes, as far as relationship is concerned, and relationship between the 4 friends to turn 3 friends, that's a 10. Right. Giving you the experience of how the hierarchy of New Orleans works. Maybe that might have been the only thing that he actually researched in Cutthroat City.
Definitely.
And I said, and it opened my eyes to a lot, something more than the show that we're watching, which we're going to talk about, called Your Honor. We're going to talk about that, but not today. But that's based in New Orleans too, and it's really super, but we're going to get to that. I give that a 10. Terrence Howard really pulls that character out, and he's not using a New Orleans accent at all. But it's just great acting. I'm telling you, the veterans in this, great acting. The newcomers in this, I have to really give the guy who played Tupac, I really have to give him credit, because he transformed himself outside of, because he looks a lot like Tupac. And it could have been easy because he had double guns. He could have been easy to play it like Tupac, but he didn't. Give him kudos. He gets a 10 by himself. So Cutthroat City, what would you rate it?
I would definitely, the acting was superb. The storyline was interesting. Like you said, the cinematography was great. The film, it was a lot of energy in it from beginning to end. And like you said, I mean, because I was going to mention that scene, if you had like that powerful scene with Tupac, not Tupac, we talking about Tupac, the powerful scene between Terrence Howard and T.I. was powerful. Yeah. And then the actor who Ship, right? He
has come into his own.
Definitely come into his own, because in all of his scenes he stands out.
He stands out.
Yeah, so I would give it a 7.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. It's just the ending for me threw me off.
It seems like at the ending, it seems like they said, we forgot about the FEMA plot and we just got to throw that in there.
Right.
They could have just left that part of the plot out of it altogether. But go ahead. So what would you rate it, though?
Yeah.
What would you rate it? What would you give it? The film as a totality whole. We know the acting was superb. That gets a 10.
The acting gets a 10. But overall, I would give it a 7.
Yeah. I'll give it a little lower because the man didn't do his research. And so I'm going to give it about a 5.